Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're tackling a really foundational work for many people, W.D. Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich.
In 1910.
Still influential. Absolutely. And our mission really is to pull out the core principles for you. Maybe you're looking for practical stuff you can use.
Or maybe the philosophy behind it.
Right. Or just curious about these, historical ideas on wealth.
And Wattles is incredibly direct. You notice that straight away.
He is.
This isn't some abstract treatise. He's writing for people who, well, need money and want results.
Yeah, he calls it a science. Based on conclusions, he says, even if you don't dive into all the metaphysics behind it.
Mm-hmm. He almost dares you, doesn't he? Accept these basic ideas on faith first.
Like you would with an inventor, he says.
Yeah, like Marconi or Edison. You trust the law works, then you prove it by using it.
And the confidence! He claims if you follow this science, getting rich is, well, certain.
Failure is impossible. That's the quote.
It's bold. It really makes you lean in and wonder, okay, what is the science?
It does. And while it's practical, he does ground it. There's a philosophy there.
The monistic theory. One is all.
Exactly. A single substance underlies everything. He connected to Hindu philosophy, but also Western thinkers.
Like Descartes, Spinoza.
Leibniz, Schopenhauer, Hegel, Emerson. He names them all.
He suggests Hegel and Emerson if you really want to explore the philosophical side.
Right. And he even gives these wonderfully specific references, like that pamphlet.
The Eternal News by J.J. Brown, 300 Cathcart Road, Govan Hill, Glasgow, Scotland. Amazing detail.
And his own articles in Nautilus from 1909, What is Truth? It's like he's providing footnotes for the curious.
But he stresses the book itself is practical, plain language.
Simple style. Meant for everyone to understand and apply.
Okay, so let's get into it. Chapter 1, The Right to be Rich. Where does he start with that?
It's foundational. He argues that to live a truly complete life, a successful life, you actually need to be rich.
Need to be, not just it's nice to be.
Need to be. Because, he says, we grow through using things, unfolding the soul, developing talents. It all requires interacting with the material world.
And in our society, money is how we get access to those things.
Precisely. So the science of getting rich isn't just personal ambition. He sees it as the basis for all advancement, for the individual, for society.
He links it to a natural right, doesn't he? Like all living things strive for full development.
Yes. And for humans, that means the right to unrestricted use of the things necessary for full mental, spiritual, and physical unfolding. That, he says, is the right to be rich.
And he's very clear this isn't about just being content with a little.
Not at all. He explicitly rejects that interpretation. He means having the resources.
He even calls being content with less when you could have more sinful.
Strong word. Because he sees nature itself as always pushing for more life, more expression. To settle for less goes against that fundamental drive.
So his definition of wealth is having all you need to live that complete life.
Exactly. And he acknowledges that in modern society, that requires quite a bit of money. It connects to our innate desire to realize our potential.
We need the things, the resources to become who we want to be.
So the desire for riches isn't base greed, in his view. It's a desire for a richer, fuller, more abundant life.
Which he calls praiseworthy. Normal, even.
Yeah. And he breaks down life into 3 motives: body, mind, and soul. All equally important, all needing full expression.
And all needing things for that expression.
Right. He even argues poverty hinders love. Our highest happiness, he says, comes from giving benefits to others. You can't give much if you have little.
So getting rich becomes a duty.
To yourself, to God or the universe, and to humanity. It's about making the most of yourself so you can give the most.
Okay, that sets the stage. But then, chapter 2,
Yeah.
the really big claim.
Yes. There is a science of getting rich.
He doesn't mince words. It's an exact science, like algebra.
Or arithmetic. Governed by laws. Obey the laws, he says, and you will get rich.
Yeah.
With mathematical certainty.
And the core idea is
That wealth comes from doing things in a certain way.
a specific method.
Yes. And anyone who does things this way, intentionally or accidentally, gets rich. Those who don't. Regardless of other factors.
So he starts debunking common ideas, like environment.
Not the main factor. Rich and poor live side by side, same environment.
Talent.
Not enough on its own. Plenty of talented poor people, plenty of less talented rich people.
Saving.
Being thrifty.
He dismisses that too. Points out that very frugal people are often poor, while big spenders sometimes get rich.
What about, having a unique business idea? doing what others don't.
Nope. He says, look at people in the same business, same location. Some succeed, some fail. It's not the business itself.
So what is required?
The ability to think and understand. That's it. He says if you can read and understand his book, you can get rich.
Location might have some influence, he admits.
A little, but it's not decisive. People succeed everywhere, in all sorts of businesses. It comes back to the way they do things.
The certain way. The certain way. It's not about what business, but how you approach it.
And lack of capital. Money to start.
Not a barrier. Acquiring capital is part of the process of getting rich in this certain way.
So even someone in deep debt, the poorest person,
Can start right now, right where they are, by beginning to act in this certain way. That's his promise.
Okay, but what about the argument that all the good opportunities are already taken, that wealth is locked up?
That's exactly what he tackles in Chapter 3. Is opportunity monopolized?
And his answer is a clear no.
A very clear no. He says nobody is kept poor because opportunity has been fenced off or because wealth is all controlled by trusts and combines.
He admits some fields might be hard to get into, like railroads back then.
Sure, established monopolies exist, but he immediately points to new opportunities constantly opening up. Electric railways, aviation, these are emerging fields in his time.
So there's always a new frontier.
Always. And even within existing structures, there are paths. He gives the example of a steel trust worker.
Right, feeling stuck.
Wattles suggests they could apply this certain way, save up, buy a small farm, and tap into the growing need for foodstuffs. He saw agriculture as a huge opportunity then.
So opportunity shifts with society's needs.
Exactly. The tide flows where evolution is creating demand. At that time in America, he saw it flowing strongly towards agriculture and related industries.
And he insists factory workers aren't inherently doomed to stay that way.
No, he points to cooperation. Worker-owned enterprises, like department stores in Belgium, he mentions, as proof they can create their own opportunities.
The law of wealth, he says, applies to everyone.
All classes. Because fundamentally, there's more than enough wealth for everyone. The supply isn't limited.
He literally says there are enough resources in the U.S. to build a palace for every family.
It's a striking image. And where does this abundance come from?
Back to the formless stuff.
The one original substance. It's inexhaustible, he says. And crucially, it's intelligent. It thinks.
And it's alive with creative energy, responding to our needs.
Yes. So if this infinite intelligent supply exists, why are people poor?
Because they don't follow the certain way.
That's his answer. They haven't aligned themselves, their thoughts and actions, with this natural abundance. He sees the universe as this great living presence, always moving towards more life.
Nature is designed for increase.
And it will provide limitlessly for those who think and act in this certain way. This leads directly into the core mechanism.
Chapter 4, the first principle in the science of getting rich. This is where it gets a bit metaphysical.
It is. This is the engine of the whole thing. He stakes flatly. Thought is the only power that produces tangible riches from formless substance.
Only thought?
Thought is the creative force. He says this original substance is thinking stuff. A thought of a form within it creates that form.
So the whole universe, everything we see,
is the visible expression of thoughts held within this original substance. When it thinks of a system of planets, it makes them. When it thinks of an oak tree, it grows one.
And where do we fit in? Humans?
We are thinking centers. We can originate thought.
So we can think our own thoughts.
And impress them upon this formless substance to cause the creation of what we think about. That's the key link.
He boils it down to 3 fundamental propositions, right?
Yes, absolutely central. 1, there's one original formless thinking stuff filling all space.
Okay.
2, a thought in this substance produces the thing imagined by the thought.
Right.
And 3, man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created.
That's the core belief system.
It is, and he argues it's supported by logic, by observation, and crucially, by experience. People get rich doing this.
He says even one person getting rich this way is suggestive evidence.
And if everyone who does it gets rich, it's proof.
And this certain way of doing things
Stems directly from the way you think about things. You have to think truth regardless of appearances.
that sounds hard. Appearances are pretty convincing.
It requires effort, he admits. Appearances, poverty, sickness, naturally tend to create corresponding thoughts.
But thinking the truth, abundance, health despite appearances,
Requires power. But developing that power makes you a mastermind, able to conquer fate.
and this power comes from understanding that basic fact. The The one thinking substance.
Yes. So the very first step to getting rich, he concludes, is to believe these three statements.
Absolutely.
Fully accept this view of the universe.
Embrace it. Reject conflicting ideas. Don't even question how it works at first. Just take it on trust.
The science begins with absolute acceptance.
Okay.
Faith.
That's the entry point. Now, once you accept this thinking universe, why would it want you specifically to be rich?
Which brings us to Chapter 5, Increasing Life.
Right. He immediately tackles the old idea that God or the universe wants us poor, that poverty is somehow virtuous.
He rejects that completely.
Absolutely. He says this intelligent substance God is consciously living and inherently desires increase of life. It's fundamental to intelligence.
Life always seeks to multiply itself, become more. Yes. Look at nature. One seed becomes a plant with many seeds. Life expands. Our own intelligence expands. One thought leads to another. Knowledge grows.
We constantly want to know more, do more, be more.
And to do that, we need more things to interact with. We develop through using the material world.
So getting rich is necessary for living more fully.
That's his argument. The desire for riches isn't greed. It's the capacity for larger life-seeking fulfillment. It's the same urge that makes plants grow.
He says the one substance wants to live more in you.
And wants you to have everything you can use. It's God's desire, he states, for you to get rich, so he can express himself better through you.
The universe is friendly to our plans.
Yes, everything's naturally for you, but there's a condition.
Our purpose must harmonize with the purpose in all.
Which is more life. Real life, the performance of function, physical, mental, spiritual, not just sensation-seeking.
So getting rich shouldn't be just for selfish indulgence, or only intellectual pursuits, or even purely for others.
It needs to be balanced for the whole person. Enjoyment, learning, loving, contributing. Extreme altruism, he says, is no better than extreme selfishness. Both are incomplete.
God wants you to make the most of yourself.
And you help others most by doing that, which requires getting rich in his framework.
And this substance creates, it doesn't compete.
Crucial point. It makes new things. It doesn't take from one person to give to another.
So we need to eliminate competitive thought.
Completely. No sharp bargains, no cheating, no taking advantage, no coveting what others have.
Become a creator, not a competitor.
Yes. Ensure that when you gain, others gain more too.
He does acknowledge some people get rich competitively, like the industrialists of his time.
Rockefeller, Carnegie, Morgan. He suggests they might have unconsciously aligned with substance's larger aim of organizing production, which ultimately increased life for many, even if their methods were competitive.
But he says their era is passing.
To be replaced by those who organize distribution more equitably. He argues competitive riches are never truly satisfying or permanent anyway.
Thinking of limited supply traps you in competition.
And cuts you off from creative power. You have to know there are limitless riches in formless substance for you.
Don't worry about others getting there first or cornering the market.
No need. Just focus on those three fundamental statements again. Believe them. Okay, so the universe wants you rich. Your thoughts are key. How does it actually happen?
Chapter 6. How riches come to you. Getting practical now.
Yes. First, it's not about cheating anyone. It's about giving more in use value than you take in cash value.
Use value versus cash value. Explain that.
Use value is the actual benefit someone gets. Cash value is the price. His book, for example, low cash value. Potentially huge use value if you apply the ideas.
He contrasts this with, say, selling something useless to someone who doesn't need it just to get their money.
Right, like selling a painting to an Eskimo for furs, no real use value exchange there, exploitation.
But a fair trade where both benefit.
Like trading a gun for furs, where both are needed and valued, that's a fair exchange of use value.
So on the creative plane, your business must add more to the other person's life.
More than what they give you financially. If your business inherently exploits, he says get out of it.
Even as an employer.
Even then. While you might take more cash value than wages paid, you must organize the business so employees have a path for advancement, for increase in their own lives.
Okay, so riches come through fair exchange. But how do they physically arrive? They don't just appear.
No. They come from formless substance permeating your environment, but they won't materialize out of thin air on your table.
He uses the sewing machine example.
Yes. You hold the mental image of the sewing machine with absolute certainty that it's being made or is on its way to you. Unwavering faith. Claim it is already yours mentally.
And how does it get delivered?
Through the power of the supreme intelligence acting on the minds of men. It might involve ordinary business transactions, maybe with people you don't even know, far away.
Because thinking substance is through all, communicates with all, influences all.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to ask for big things.
Ask largely, he quotes Jesus. It is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom.
Original substance wants you to have all you can use for that abundant life. Recognizing this alignment between your desire and omnipotence's desire strengthens your faith.
It's not just your little desire, it's the universe wanting to express itself through you.
Like the child wanting to play the piano, that desire is original substance wanting musical expression. God wants to live and do and enjoy through humanity.
So he wants musicians to have pianos, people who appreciate beauty, to be surrounded by it.
Yes, your desire for riches is the infinite seeking expression in you. So focalize that desire, express it fully without hesitation.
He really pushes back against the idea that poverty pleases God,
Strongly, he tells that story of the poor man
who asked for small things first, a rug, a stove.
and got them, then realized he hadn't asked enough, formed the mental picture of his ideal home, held it, and eventually got it.
Unto him according to his faith.
That's the punchline, which leads perfectly into the next crucial element.
Gratitude. Chapter 7.
Yes. The first step towards getting rich, he says here, is conveying the idea of your wants to formless substance,
And to do that, you need a harmonious relationship with it.
which is secured through gratitude. Deep, constant gratitude.
So the 3 steps again. Believe in the one substance. Believe it gives you what you desire.
And relate to it with profound thankfulness.
Lack of gratitude is a major blocker. Keeps people poor.
He thinks so. It severs the connection. Gratitude strengthens it, brings you closer to the source, allows you to receive more, faster.
It also keeps your mind aligned creatively. Prevents competitive thought.
Yes, because if you're truly grateful, you're focused on abundance, not scarcity. There's a law of gratitude you have to observe.
Thankful praise is like an expenditure of force.
That reaches its target and causes an immediate reaction back towards you. He quotes, "Draw nigh unto God, and he will draw nigh unto you,"
So strong, constant gratitude creates a continuous flow.
of desired things moving towards you. He points to Jesus again. "I thank thee, Father, that thou hearest me." That attitude of already received.
Gratitude is essential for faith.
Absolutely. Without it, dissatisfaction creeps in, you start focusing on lack, and you lose ground.
Dwelling on the negative attracts the negative.
Focusing on the best attracts the best. The creative power shapes us according to what we give our attention to.
The grateful mind is fixed on the best, so it becomes the best, receives the best.
And faith is born of gratitude. Expectation becomes faith.
So cultivate the habit, be grateful for everything good.
Continuously.
Yeah.
Even things that seem negative but contributed to your advancement.
And don't dwell on the flaws of the rich or complain about politicians.
No. See the good. See them as part of the system that's bringing your riches. Be grateful even to them. It creates harmonious relations with the good everywhere, drawing it to you.
Okay, gratitude connects us. What about the specific thought, chapter 8? Thinking in the certain way.
Back to the mental picture. He revisits the man visualizing his house. You must have a clear, definite mental image.
Vague desires don't work.
No, I want some money isn't enough. You need a coherent statement, a detailed picture.
Go over it in detail. See it as you want it to be.
Yes, and hold that picture continually in mind, like a sailor focused on the port.
Does this require intense concentration exercises?
He says no. No occult practice is needed. Just know what you want and want it badly enough that it stays in your thoughts naturally.
Spend leisure time contemplating the picture.
If the desire isn't strong enough to hold your focus, he questions if it's worth pursuing this way.
A clear picture strengthens desire, makes focus easier.
But just seeing the picture isn't enough. There must be the purpose behind it.
The purpose to realize it in tangible form.
And behind that purpose, invincible and unwavering faith that the thing is already yours, on its way.
Mentally live in the new house, use the new things until it feels real.
Yes, until it manifests physically. He quotes Jesus again, "Whatsoever things ye ask for when you pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them."
Believe you receive them now.
In imagination, maintain that mental attitude of ownership, unwavering faith.
And be thankful for it now, as if it's already real.
That demonstrates true faith. Repeated asking isn't needed. God knows. Use not vain repetitions.
So your part is formulate the desire clearly, impress it with purpose and faith.
Unshakable purpose, steadfast faith. The power isn't just in verbal prayer, but in the faith held during your work.
Pray without ceasing means hold the vision constantly.
With purpose and faith that is being created, believe that you receive them. That's the key, the mental reception.
Make the request, then mentally receive it, live in it.
With faith and purpose, that's different from idle daydreaming, and this requires using the will correctly.
Which brings us to Chapter 9, How to Use the Will.
Right. And his instruction here is crucial and perhaps counterintuitive for some.
Which is,
Do not apply your willpower to anything outside yourself.
don't try to force others to do what you want, mentally or physically.
Absolutely not. He says that's wrong. It's coercion. Trying to mentally compel someone is just as bad as physically forcing them.
And it hinders your own purpose anyway.
Definitely. And don't try to use willpower to compel things to come to you. That's trying to coerce God or substance.
Which is pointless because substance is friendly and wants to give it to you.
Exactly. So where do you use your will?
On yourself.
Yes. To compel yourself to think the right thoughts and act the right way. To hold to the certain way.
Don't try to project your will out into space.
No. Keep your mind focused internally, forming the image, holding it with faith and purpose. Use will to maintain that right way of thinking.
Steady faith and purpose impress substance positively.
And negative thoughts, doubt, fear create a counter movement, pushing things away. Belief is paramount.
Guard your thoughts. Use will to control your attention.
And crucially, control what you give attention to. He strongly advises against studying poverty if you want riches.
Because you create what you think about.
Yes, focusing on poverty creates more poverty in your experience. Studying disease promotes disease.
So don't talk about poverty, read about it, investigate it.
No, focus on the cure, getting rich yourself.
Yeah.
He even advises against conventional charity.
Because it perpetuates poverty. Doesn't solve the root cause.
That's his view. The best way to help the poor is to get rich and show them the way out, inspire them.
You can't hold the image of wealth if your mind is full of poverty images.
Exactly. Avoid the news depicting misery. Avoid books about suffering. Focus on creation.
Poverty is banished by inspiring the poor with possibility, not by the rich dwelling on poverty.
They need inspiration, not just temporary handouts. And your own success is the best inspiration.
He believes poverty will end when enough people practice his method creation, not competition.
Because creative wealth opens the way for others, competitive wealth takes from them.
So use willpower to keep your mind OFF poverty and on your vision.
With faith and purpose, that's the correct use of will.
Okay, Chapter 10 builds on this. Further use of the will.
Reinforcing the need to maintain that clear vision. You can't do it if you're constantly looking at opposing pictures.
Whether external realities or imaginary fears.
Right. And don't talk about past financial troubles. Don't dwell on a poor upbringing.
Let the dead bury their dead. Put poverty completely behind you mentally.
If you've accepted this theory, why entertain conflicting ones? Don't read pessimistic stuff, doom and gloom forecasts.
He believes the world is getting better, moving towards God.
Yes. Focus on the world becoming rich, not the temporary negative conditions that are passing away.
Help the world by getting rich creatively yourself.
Give your whole attention to riches, ignore poverty.
And when you think of the poor,
See them as becoming rich, congratulate them mentally, inspire them.
he clarifies this isn't about being sordid or mean.
No, becoming truly rich creatively is the noblest aim because it enables everything else: growth, service, love.
Competitive wealth is the godless scramble. Creative wealth transforms that.
Greatness, soul development, service, lofty endeavor, they all come through the use of things, which requires getting rich.
Even physical health, moral and spiritual greatness.
Often depend on freedom from the grind, from the competitive struggle. Domestic happiness, too, thrives with refinement and freedom from corrupting influences.
So fix attention on the mental picture of riches. Exclude everything that dims it.
See the underlying truth, the one life, moving towards fuller expression, even beneath seeming problems. The truth is there is only wealth, potentially.
Some are poor due to ignorance.
Best taught by your example.
Others are lazy or lost in theory.
Arouse their desire or show the practical way through your own success. The best thing for the world is to make the most of yourself.
He strongly suggests sticking just to his book for now.
Yes. Until you're rich, he presents his system as complete, direct, simple. Avoid other theories to prevent confusion and doubt.
Read this book daily. Commit it to memory.
After you're rich, then explore other systems if you want. Read only optimistic news that aligns with your picture.
Postpone occult investigations, theosophy, spiritualism.
Focus on your one problem. Get rich. Mixing in other things can create conflicting mental currents.
He summarizes again, thinking stuff. Thought creates. Man impresses thought. Creative mind, clear picture, fixed purpose, unwavering faith.
And now the final piece.
Yeah.
You must live and act in a certain way.
Chapter 11. Acting in the certain way. Thought isn't enough.
Thought is the creative power, but it has to be supplemented by personal action.
We can't just think gold and have it appear.
Not yet, anyway. Thought sets things in motion towards you, but natural processes and human agency are usually involved. You have to act to receive what comes.
Not as charity or theft, but through fair exchange, giving more use value.
Right, so scientific use of thought. Clear image, firm purpose, grateful faith. But don't try to project thought mystically.
Just think sanely.
Yes, faith and purpose impress formless substance, which wants more life anyway, and it directs creative forces through regular channels towards you.
Your job isn't to guide the process.
No. Maintain vision, purpose, faith, gratitude. Your action role is to appropriate what's yours when it arrives, to meet the things in your picture.
And these things usually come through other people expecting fair exchange.
So you need to combine thought and personal action. Many fail here, they think, but don't prepare to receive.
Thought brings it near, action receives it.
And the crucial point about action is act, N-O-W.
Can't act in the past or future, only now.
Don't wait for the right business or environment. Act in your present business, present environment.
Don't worry about future emergencies.
Not unless they require action now. Trust you can handle them when they arrive. Put your whole mind into present action.
Don't just visualize and wait passively.
Act now. Act where you are. Focus on doing today's work perfectly.
Don't try to do tomorrow's work today or influence distant things mystically.
No. Act on what's here. Don't wait for a change of environment. Create one through action.
Hold the vision of the better environment.
With faith and purpose, yes. But act upon your present one with all your heart, soul, and mind.
No drifting off into daydreams. One vision. Act now.
Don't look for spectacular actions at first. Just start performing your current everyday actions in this certain way.
Even if you're in the wrong job.
Yes. Use your present job to prepare for and move towards the right one. Hold the vision of the job you want.
While acting with faith and purpose in the job you have.
Vision and faith move the creative forces. Your action moves your environment. He adds this to the summary. Man must act now NW on people and things in his present environment.
Okay, so act now. But how should we act? Chapter 12, Efficient Action.
Right. Use thought as directed and do all you can do where you are today.
Advance by being larger than your present place.
Fulfilling all current duties and then some. The world progresses, he says, through those who more than fill their current roles.
If you don't fill your place, you hold everyone back.
Getting rich depends on applying this principle of exceeding your place.
Every day is either a success or a failure.
And successful days add up to getting rich. Failing to do what you can do today has ripple effects. Do all that can be done each day.
But not by overworking or rushing blindly.
No, the key is the efficiency of each separate action, not just the quantity.
Every act is either effective or ineffective.
Successful or a failure in itself. Too many inefficient acts lead to overall failure.
So failure comes from doing too many things inefficiently, not enough efficiently.
Avoiding inefficient acts and doing enough efficient ones leads to wealth. It's an exact science.
And you can make each act efficient.
Because all power is working with you. Put the power of faith and purpose into every single act, no matter how simple. Hold your vision.
Failure happens when mental power is separated from physical action.
Put all power in every act. Each act becomes a success. Successes build. Progress accelerates.
Successful action is cumulative. The desire for more life draws more to you.
So do all you can each day efficiently.
How do you hold the vision during action without getting distracted?
Use leisure time for detailed contemplation until the picture is fixed. During work, just mentally refer to the picture briefly to stimulate faith and purpose. Drive your best effort.
Contemplate until the vision fills your consciousness, graspable instantly.
And evoke strong energies. So the revised summary includes, do all that can be done daily with faith and purpose, doing each thing efficiently.
Now, what about finding the right arena for this efficient action? Chapter 13, Getting into the right business.
Yes. He acknowledges that success is related to having the right faculties for a particular business. Musical talent for music, mechanical for mechanics, etc.
Makes sense.
But, crucially, just having the talent isn't enough. You need to use it in the right way. Like having good tools but needing skill to make furniture.
So it's easier to succeed where your strongest talents lie.
Generally, yes, you're best fitted.
Hmm.
But you're not locked in by birth. You can develop talents you need.
Success is possible in any vocation.
Yes, by developing rudimentary talents.
Yeah.
But it's easiest, requires least effort, where you're already strong.
But what about fulfillment, what you want to do?
That's key. Doing what you want is life itself, he says. Dissatisfaction comes from doing dislike work constantly.
And the desire to do something is proof you can do it.
He believes so. Desire is a manifestation of power. Strong desire means strong potential power, needing development. No power, no desire.
So choose a business matching your talent if possible.
But if you have a strong desire for something else, aim for that ultimately.
Right.
You have the right to do congenial work.
Don't do what you dislike, except as a means to an end.
Right. And if past mistakes put you in a bad spot, make the current work pleasant by seeing it as a stepping stone.
Don't rush to change jobs. Growth is usually best.
Generally. But be open to a sudden change if opportunity feels right after careful thought. Never act rashly in doubt.
No hurry on the creative plane. Abundance of opportunity.
Hasty action isn't needed. If one place is taken, a better one opens. When in doubt, wait.
Contemplate the vision. Increase faith and purpose. Cultivate gratitude.
A day or two of that brings unity with the Supreme, prevents mistakes. There's a mind that knows all. Unity comes through faith, purpose, gratitude.
Mistakes come from haste, fear, doubt, forgetting the right motive.
Which is more life to all. Keep acting in the certain way, opportunities increase. Maintain faith, purpose, gratitude.
Do all you can perfectly each day, without haste, worry, or fear.
Go as fast as you can, but never hurry. Hurrying means competition, not creation.
If you feel hurried, stop, focus on the vision, give thanks.
Gratitude strengthens faith, renews purpose. Okay, so wherever you are, whatever you're doing, how do you project the right energy?
Chapter 14, the impression of increase. This sounds important for interaction.
Hugely. Whether changing jobs or not, your present actions relate to your current business. In all dealings, convey the impression of increase.
Increase. Why is that the key?
It's what everyone seeks. It's the urge of formless intelligence, the impulse of nature. All human activity stems from desire for increase more food, clothes, knowledge, pleasure, more life.
Advancement is necessary for life. Stagnation leads to dissolution.
Man seeks it instinctively. Parable of the talents, again, gain more or lose what you have. The desire for wealth is this desire for more abundant life, aspiration.
So people are naturally attracted to those who offer increase.
Yes. And following this certain way means you are giving continuous increase to yourself and everyone you deal with. Your creative center radiating increase.
Convey this assurance to everyone, even in small transactions.
Yes. Selling candy, anything. Instill the thought of increase. Let everything you do convey advancement. Give the impression you are an advancing man-woman who advances others.
Even socially, hold the faith in your own progress.
And it will shine through your actions. Act with firm conviction you are advancing and giving advancement. Feel you're getting rich and making others rich.
But don't boast.
No. True faith isn't boastful. Boasting shows doubt. Just feel the faith. Let it show quietly in actions, tone, look. Words aren't always needed.
Others will sense increase and be drawn to you.
Make them feel associating with you brings them increase. And always ensure you give more use value than cash value received.
Take honest pride in that. Let people know you won't lack customers.
People go where they find increase. The Supreme, wanting increase in all, will direct them to you. Your business grows, unexpected benefits come, better opportunities arise.
But never lose sight of the vision, faith, purpose.
And beware the temptation to seek power over others.
Ah, the competitive urge again.
Yes, the desire to rule, to dominate. He sees it in kings, lords, and even in business. Armies of dollars for power.
Jesus opposed this desire for mastery.
Yes. Pharisees wanting titles, dominance. Avoid seeking authority, being a master, impressing through display.
Seeking mastery is competitive, not creative.
Mastering your destiny doesn't require ruling others. Engaging in that struggle leads to being conquered yourself. Beware the competitive mind.
He quotes Golden Rule Jones. What I want for myself, I want for everybody.
That's the creative ideal. Now, how does this apply to specific roles, especially employees?
Chapter 15, the advancing man. Applying the increase principle more broadly.
Right. To professionals, wage earners, everyone. Physician, teacher, clergyman, give increase of life, attract people, get rich.
The physician visualizing success connects with the source of life. Becomes successful.
Yes. Medicine is a great field for this. The clergyman teaching abundant life, getting rich, well, great. Loved will have a full church. The world needs this demonstrated from the pulpit.
Teachers inspiring children with faith and purpose of advancing life. Always employed.
If the faith is real in the teacher, it's contagious. Applies to lawyers, dentists, agents, everyone.
Combined mental and personal action is infallible.
That's his claim. Now, for the wage earner, don't feel stuck by low wages or lack of opportunity.
Form your vision. Act with faith and purpose.
Do all work perfectly daily with the power of success and purpose to get rich.
But don't do it just to please the boss for a raise.
Unlikely to work that way. A merely good workman is valuable where they are. Advancement requires being too big for your place.
With a clear concept of your desired self and determination to be that.
Exceed your current role for your own advancement. Maintain faith and purpose during and after work. Radiate that purpose.
People will sense advancement from you. Opportunities will come.
A power never fails to present opportunities to the advancing person obeying the law. God must help you, if you act this way, to help himself.
No circumstances can hold you down. If not rich in the steel trust, then on a farm.
Moving in the certain way will lead you to your desired place. If masses adopted this, trusts would have to offer better terms or fail.
No one has to work for a trust if they know this science.
Start thinking and acting this way. Faith and purpose reveal opportunities. They come quickly as the Supreme works for you.
Don't wait to be all you want. Take opportunities to be more than you are now.
That's the first step to greater opportunity. No lack of chances for the advancing man or woman. The cosmos works for them. They will get rich acting and thinking this way.
He urges wage earners to study and apply this confidently. It won't fail.
Which brings us to his final thoughts and warnings.
Chapter 16. Some cautions and concluding observations, addressing skepticism.
Yes, many will doubt. Believe wealth is limited requires government change. He says that's untrue.
Existing governments keep masses poor because they don't think and act in a certain way.
That's his perspective. If masses move forward this way, systems will be forced to adapt. Nothing can keep the advancing mind in poverty.
Individuals can get rich anytime, under any government, causing the system to evolve.
Remember, competitive wealth harms, creative wealth benefits. Economic salvation requires many people practicing this method.
Neither government nor capitalism can stop you from creative wealth. You rise above them.
Keep thought on the creative plane. Never see supply as limited. Never act competitively. Correct yourself instantly if you slip into old thought patterns.
Competitive mind loses cooperation with the mind of the whole.
Don't overplan for future emergencies, beyond necessary present actions. Focus on today's perfect work.
Don't worry about future obstacles unless they need present action changes.
They'll disappear, or a way around will appear. No circumstances can defeat someone getting rich scientifically this way. Obeying the law guarantees wealth.
Don't anxiously think of disasters. Address them if when they arise now. Every difficulty holds its solution.
And guard your speech. Crucial final point. Never speak discouragement about yourself or anything else.
Never admit possibility of failure. Never speak of hard times.
That's for the competitive plane. Focus on the becoming, the growing. Regard seeming evil as merely undeveloped good.
So that really covers the core ideas in this deep dive into the science of getting rich. We've explored Wattles' main principles.
Yeah, the central idea is pretty clear, isn't it? That there's a science here, rooted in thought, faith, purpose, gratitude.
And that acting in a certain way, emphasizing creation over competition, giving value.
Absolutely. And we recognize some of these ideas might feel challenging to conventional thinking.
Or require that leap of faith Wattles himself mentioned right at the start.
We definitely encourage you to just, consider the implications. How might these principles apply in your own life, your own pursuit of a more abundant existence?
And maybe a final thought for you to mull over.
Hmm.
If the universe is indeed this thinking substance responsive to our thoughts and desires, what fundamental shift in your thinking could unlock new possibilities for increase in your life?
That's a good question. We definitely invite you to read Wattles' work itself. Maybe explore those philosophical threads he mentioned.
For a deeper understanding, yeah. We really hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights, sparked some curiosity.
Hope so.
Until our next exploration on the deep dive,